Maimonides, the laws of robbery and lost objects. We begin with robbery. In chapter 1, the laws pertaining to robbery and the return of lost articles. This text contains 7 mitzvahs, 2 positive and 5 negative. They are not to rob, not to withhold money due to a colleague, not to covet that which belongs to a colleague, not to desire that which belongs to a colleague, to return an article obtained by robbery, not to ignore a lost article, to return a lost article. These mitzvahs explained in the following chapters. Okay, whoever robs, so robbery as opposed to theft. Theft is secretively. Robbery is like robbery is in front of you, right? Like, your money or your life. When you say that in front of the person, that's robbery. So an object worth a fruta, which is a minimum amount from a colleague, transgresses a negative commandment. As it says, do not rob. Violation of this negative commandment is not punished by lashes because it can be corrected by the fulfillment of the positive commandment, right? For if a person robs, he's obligated to return what he obtained by robbery, as it states, and he shall return the article that he obtained by robbery. This is a positive commandment. So he can fix it. Only time you get lashes is when there is nothing here to fix. Okay? Clear? Even if a robber burned the object that he obtained by robbery, he is not punished by lashing because he remains obligated to pay its value. And whenever a transgression of a negative commandment results in a financial penalty, he is not punished by lashing. That you don't have. It is forbidden to rob even the slightest amount. It is forbidden even to rob or to withhold money from a non-Jew, a Gentile, who worships idols. If one robs or withholds money from such a person, he must return it. He's going to use the money for idolatry, but yet you're not allowed to rob him. Nonetheless, you're not allowed to. Right?
Okay, you can't use that as an excuse.
Huh?
You can't use that as an excuse to rob the money.
Exactly. Right.
Prevent him from
right. Exactly. You might think you could, but you can't. What is meant by a robber? A person who takes by force property belonging to a colleague. That's the idea, by force, right? You can let in. Thank you. For example, a person who seizes movable property from a colleague's hand, who enters a colleague's domain and takes utensils against the colleague's will, who seizes a colleague's servant or livestock and makes use of them, or who enters a colleague's field and eats his produce. These and any similar acts are considered robbery as reflected by the verse, and it says, and he robbed the spear from the Egyptian. What is meant, number 4, by withholding colleagues' due? It refers to a person who was given money, willingly by a colleague, and then when he demanded it of him, he forcefully maintained possession of it and refused to return it. For example, a person who was given a loan or had hired a colleague, right, and when payment was demanded, he forcefully refused to pay. Concerning that which is written in the command, do not withhold money from your colleague. Whoever robs a colleague, whoever robs is obligated to return the article that he obtained by robbery itself, as it's written, and he shall return the article he obtained by robbery. If the article was lost or underwent a change, the robber must pay its value. Whether he admits robbery himself or witnesses come and testify that he committed robbery, he is required to pay only the principal that he obtained by robbery. By theft, remember, you pay double, right? Here you only pay for what you rob. Even if a person robbed a beam and used it in the building of a house, scriptural law requires that he tear down the entire building and return the beam to its owner, for the beam remained unchanged. If you cut up the beam and now he made it into a different kind of, that's one thing, but it remained a beam, biblical law, you have to return it. Nevertheless, to encourage robbers to repent, our sages ordained that the robber pay the worth of the beam and did not require him to destroy his building. Same applies in all similar situations. See, now rabbinic law comes and brings the human element into it. You're not going to encourage a robber to return anything if he has to tear down his house. But if he had remorse for what he did, and it's only about paying back, he built a home and now maybe he got wealthy and say, you know what, let me I feel bad. So I'm going to tear down his house to return a beam, right? But he'll pay the money. Okay, he'll do that. So the rabbi said, that's what you do. Even if a person robbed a beam and used it building a sukkah of sukkahs, and the owner came and demanded return of the beam in the midst of the festival, the robber is required to pay only its value. After the conclusion of the festival, however, since the beam remains unchanged and it was not permanently fixed with mortar, the robber must return the beam itself. Because after the festival. During the festival, he won't have a sukkah, right? So therefore, he doesn't have to return it then. But after the words, he does. Right. When a person robs something worth less than a pruta, although he has committed a transgression, he's not required to return an article he obtained by robbery. We're talking less than a dime. If the person robbed 3 bundles of vegetables or the branches of which are originally worth 3 prutas, and the value decreased so that the 3 are now worth only 2, it's not sufficient for him to return 2 bundles. He's obligated to return the 3rd, for it was originally worth a pruta. If the person robbed 2 items together worth a pruta and then returned one of them, he's not considered to possess an article that was robbed, nor is he has an obligation to return the item that was robbed. With that, we're going to conclude. Again, I ask everybody to please to participate. We have many teams. Actually, many of you have teams, and if you still want to make a team to reach out with your own link, let me know, and we'll make a link for you so you can reach out to people. People like to give through people that they know. Or you can do it through my link if you'd like, for a team. Most importantly is, let's go get them. We need to conquer the world today with tzedakah. Thank you, folks. God bless.